Good morning, everyone. It is about 7:45 here right now in Florida, and Mowgli and I are flying today. So I decided that I'm going to do a vlog today and take you behind the scenes of what it is really like to fly with your dog. So we are ready to go, and let's get to it. So we are out walking Mowgli, making sure that he goes potty. He always goes in the morning, so we're gonna make sure that he does his business. Good boy. And then we are going to head to the dog park. Are you ready to fly? Are you ready to go on an airplane? Yes. Are you gonna be a good boy? Of course, of course. So our first adventure this morning is the Starbucks drive-thru, because this dog mom needs coffee to get her through today, and this little guy would love a puppuccino. So we are waiting in line at Starbucks. We're going to get some coffee. I might get like a breakfast sandwich to hold me over. Something that I didn't do last time was eat, because I was so worried about keeping track of the dog. If you're flying by yourself, just make sure you have snacks handy, or you like eat before your flight, so you're not starving when like you don't feel like waiting in line with your dog to get, you know, fast food or something like that. So we're gonna go to the dog park and wear off any energy he may have, and then we are going to go back home and make some last final preparations for our flight. Our flight is leaving around 1 o'clock today, and it's about 8 a.m. right now. So hoping to go to the dog park for like an hour and then come back and have a couple hours to do a few things before we have to leave for our flight. That's the good stuff right there, huh, Mo? Puppuccinos. So we just got to the dog park, and we are going to try to wear off some of this boy's energy. I didn't mention before, but I have not gave him breakfast today because he's going to be flying, and I just do that so his stomach isn't full and so he doesn't have to go potty while he's on the flight. So yeah, we just got here and we're gonna wear him out. Momo. Hi. We just got done at the dog park, and this guy is super tired, aren't you, Mo? So he is all worn out and ready to go. We're gonna go back into the house that is, pack a few more things, and then we are going to wait for our ride to the airport. So we are about to leave to go to the airport, but I wanted to do a really quick what's in my bag so you can see what I'm bringing on my carry-on. All right, so I figured I would show you what I pack in my carry-on bag. So I just emptied it out. As you can see, I have like it's not a huge bag, but it's you know, a fairly good sized carry-on. I try to keep it as lightweight as possible because I don't want to be dealing with a heavy bag and having to cart him through the airport. So I'll pack it now. So the first thing I'm just gonna throw in here is my laptop, and this was just something that wouldn't fit in my carry-on bag. I also have my wallet, so this has like my IDs and everything in there, ready to go. Potty bags, just in case he has an accident and just for my travels. Throw those in there. What else do we have? Treats. So I always pack like a big Ziploc bag. These are just like Zooks, little mini treats. And these work great going through the airport. You can bring them through security and everything. So I always have those handy just in case he decides he doesn't want to behave as well as he should. Charger. So I have like my watch charger. Let's see, I got my Kindle charger, headphones. Those are probably gonna get really tangled. Woo. Wow, this is very organized. A day in the life, you guys. Phone charger. Hand sanitizer because it's 2020. And just because people are gross. I've got masks and then just like a hair tie. I'll throw one of my masks up in here so I can get to it quickly. All right, and then I like to bring him some chewable type bones. So this is like a bark box bone, but it's like a Nyla bone. I know you want it. And then this is his favorite Nyla bone, which is why it's so disgusting. But he loves this thing to chew on, so I'll pack that. Got all of his paperwork here, his ESA forms, as well as his rabies form. So in case anything goes awry, it's always good to keep these on hand. You shouldn't need them, but always better to have them just in case. Wipes, I feel like wipes are just always a good thing to have on hand. My Kindle for some reading, throw that in here. I may not bring this guy, I was thinking about it, but he's kind of bulky, so we may leave him here. There you go, Mom. Got my house keys, so I'll throw those in. And then we've got his leash, so I will use this until we get into the airport. When we go through security, I'm actually gonna put him on this lead, and I will link this on my Amazon page that is down below, and some of these other items. But this is super handy just to go through security because he doesn't have to take it off or anything. It goes right through without beeping, or at least it did last time when we went through pre-check. So highly recommend getting a lead like this. It's super handy to go through the airport. Then I also have just this collapsible bowl that I use to feed him after we land, and then also if he needs any water once we get through the gate. You know, it's a long time to go for a dog without having access to a lot of water, so I don't want him to be dehydrated. So although I don't want him to have to go to the bathroom if he is a little thirsty, I'm okay with giving him some. We have a pretty short flight. And then last thing I bring is my water bottle, and I will empty this before we leave, and then fill it up once we get past security. And I just always have that on hand in case I need water, he needs water, we always have it. So yeah, this is pretty much everything that goes into my checked bag. My phone, of course, which I'm using to film. So we are leaving for the airport soon, but yeah, this is it. So just for more clarification, the bag that you just saw is my carry-on bag, not my checked bag. So I bring that on the plane with me, and that's the only thing I bring. So it's just that carry-on bag as well as Mowgli the dog. And then I have a suitcase that I check at the airport. A lot of times people like to bring carry-on suitcases. I personally think if you are traveling with a dog, it is way easier to just check your bag so you don't have to bring it through security. You don't have to worry about bringing it on the airplane. It's just one less thing in your hands. I definitely encourage you to pack light, and this is coming from someone who never packs light, but it makes it so much easier. So that's the way I do it. If you're traveling with multiple people, it's probably easier, but if you're traveling by yourself and a dog, you definitely don't want to have your dog and a suitcase and a carry-on. It would just be a hassle. So just a little piece of advice. One thing to keep in mind when you are flying with your dog is you are not allowed to check in ahead of time on your phone. You have to check in person at the airport. So definitely make sure you get there at least 2 hours in advance for domestic flights. And that's usually what we do. Give yourself enough time to drop off your bag, get checked in case there's a line. Right now the pandemic's going on, so the airports have been a little bit lighter, but you just want to make sure you leave yourself enough time and some extra time with a dog, because you know, anything can happen. We are leaving for the airport shortly, so we are going on one last potty walk. I want to make sure that he goes potty before we get to the airport. Once you get into the airport, there isn't always great spaces for dogs to go to the bathroom, so I try to make sure he does it before we leave. And then usually he's good until after we get off of the plane. So I'd also stop giving them water like an hour or two before you leave for your flight, or at least lots of water, because you don't want them to be holding their bladder for a long period of time. But you know your dog better than I do. And also make sure you check with your vet, as they may have recommendations as well. So we are on our way. So one thing that I give Mowgli before we go are these calming bites. I got these from Amazon, but please check with your vet before you give your dog anything. I gave these to him last time before we flew, and they seemed to kind of make him a little drowsy, and I don't know, it just seemed to go well. He didn't get very anxious at all. So not sure if I can credit it to this, but just check them out if you and your vet approve. we just dropped off our bag and we are waiting to go through security. He is doing pretty well so far. Mowgli, are you excited? So we just made it through security. I highly recommend TSA pre-check. We got the dog and we are doing well. We're heading to the gate. We made it to the gate and Mowgli is sitting here patiently waiting for the plane to take off. We have about an hour until we start boarding and we should have the row to ourselves, right Mo? Great. Hey, slow down. Wait. So we are on the plane and Mowgli is currently passed out. You can see he takes up about 2 seats worth of leg room, but he usually gets pretty comfortable. We actually got lucky and got the whole row to ourselves, so he has plenty of space to stretch out. We also upgrade our seat, so we are in row 2. That way it gives us a little more leg room as well. But up in the air. We just made it to Minneapolis and Mowgli is witnessing some snow for the first time. It is really cold, but he did a great job. So now I'm just letting him go potty and we are on our way to Eau Claire. Thank you so much for watching this very unofficial vlog. I hope you found it useful or helpful in some way. Mowgli and I, he's down here sleeping. We got to Wisconsin and everything went very smoothly. My biggest tips would be to invest in TSA pre-check as it makes going through security so much easier. The other tip I have would just be to check with the airline before you arrive or when you get to the airport and just see like who you're seated by so you can make any accommodations or upgrade your seat if necessary. We were able to be moved into a row that didn't have any other passengers, which was really great. And you know, they can't always guarantee that or do that for you, but it's a great thing to do if you're able to open that conversation and just ask if it's available. Highly recommend doing that. One other thing that I didn't mention at all in this vlog is that I really try to just be considerate of other people and other guests. Not everybody likes animals, and you know, I just try to make sure that he is very well behaved, that I'm not bringing any toys that make loud squeaky sounds or smell. Know that if you get seated next to another passenger, right, they don't necessarily like animals, so just be very considerate of other people as well as the flight attendants. Everybody on our flight was absolutely fantastic and everything went really smooth. So we were really lucky and we've had really great flights, but just keep in mind that anything can happen, so it's better to be prepared. I did link all of the products that I brought with me in my Amazon page down below, so you can click the link and you can see the different products that I talked about in the video. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment. Please subscribe because it allows me to make more of these videos. And feel free to follow me or message me at Princess and the Mouse on Instagram. That's usually where I respond the quickest, so please feel free to reach out. Thank you everyone again, and I'll see you in the next video.